Hi, I'm Dr. Tim Weir, and I gotta tell you, I love life. But when I'm not being a husband, a father, a grandfather, an author, or a practicing chiropractor, I'm the host of the television show Loving Life with Dr. Tim Weir. I love to cook. I love to travel. I like to spend time with people who do what they love and love what they do. Join me and Elvis for the next 30 minutes as we help you discover how to love life. Hey, welcome to this episode of Loving Life. You know, I love life. I love everything about life. I love to eat. I love to travel. I love to do all kinds of stuff. But I really love people who can create. And all of us, there's something that we can all create. But I'm with Kim Cowger today. Kim is, she represents one of my favorite artists in the whole world, and that's Bob Ross.
Yes.
Kim, thank you for being with me today.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So you've been doing this how long?
Since '98.
Wow.
So 19 years I've been teaching. I started painting this style in '94.
That's amazing.
I love it.
Yeah. So what have we got planned today?
I think we're going to do something like the Blue Ridge.
Wow,
so
really?
Springtime in the Blue Ridge. So
Let's do it.
Little rolling hill.
I'm going to pick that up.
Okay, thank you.
Don't hit me with that brush.
I was wondering where it came from. Bob's here.
Bob?
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. I've already prepped my canvas with liquid white. Bob Ross technique is wet on wet. So this wet surface makes the painting go quicker, makes it much easier, and it's fun. So I've got some phthalo blue on my palette, and I'm just going to start with crisscross strokes. Nice blue day in the Blue Ridge. So if we're going to have Blue Ridge, we got to have a nice blue sky.
Well, I would think so.
Yeah. You know, Bob has one painting that he calls Blue Ridge Falls, and that's the only scene he painted in North Carolina that I'm aware of.
Really?
Yes.
Now, it's amazing because I watch his show on Netflix now.
Yes.
And my wife, she gets upset at me because she wants to watch something. She'll walk out and I'll throw Bob back on again. It's just very relaxing watching that.
It is. I like to say it's very hard for me to watch a complete episode without falling asleep.
Yeah.
It's very relaxing.
So for those of you who have sleep trouble, go on Netflix and watch Bob Ross for a little bit.
Yes.
He's amazing.
Very soft-spoken gentleman.
Yes.
Very soft-spoken. So we have a nice blue sky, and while I'm working with this blue, I think we're going to have a little pond. So with the pond, whoa, I really turned on that color then.
And as Bob says, there are no mistakes.
Happy accidents. So with this bright color, we'll see what happens. Now, working in skies or X's, working in the land is straight strokes. What I'm doing is setting my strokes out of the sky, just softening everything up. I'm going to switch to a different brush. I want a few clouds in. So I'm going to pick up some titanium white. I love doing clouds. And I left some dark spots, and these dark spots,
Bob would say, happy little clouds.
happy little clouds.
Did you hear that, Bob? Now, Bob passed away when?
In '95.
Wow.
July the 4th of '95.
Wow.
So I was not one of the lucky ones that got to paint with Bob.
Yeah.
I did have the opportunity to paint with his best friend, Dana Jester. He came to Fayetteville and did a class for me. And we had, well, he stayed 2 weeks because we had so many students.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. But he said Bob was a big jokester. Loved to play tricks on everybody. So what I'm doing is softening down my cloud a little bit. I keep wiping the brush because I'm picking up the blue.
Right.
I'm going to set out my brush strokes again.
Now that makes it so that there's not lines. Is that what
So
you're?
the X strokes, you won't see a bunch
Right.
of those. And Like when I was pulling down my cloud, a little white jumped up there. Just by brushing back across it, took that little bit of white out. So we've got that. Now I'm gonna reach over here and pick up a fan brush. If it's the Blue Ridge, we gotta have a blue mountain. Let's see, I pick up some blue. There's a little brown, little black. Then I'm gonna get into some white. This may be bluer than I want, but hey, no mistakes, happy accidents.
Happy accident.
So let's start off with a rolling hill coming in. So when you're riding out there, you see all these beautiful little ups and downs out in the mountains of North Carolina. Pull it down a little bit. It's amazing, I always wondered why they called it the Blue Ridge. Until I got out there and the sky was real misty and all I saw were these blue mountains.
Blue mountains, yeah.
So
how long, you started in 94.
I started painting this technique in 94.
How long before it looked like a painting?
My first painting, I wished I'd brought it today. It wasn't bad. My first painting wasn't bad. I think a lot has to do with the instructor.
Yeah.
I had a very good instructor. She's no longer teaching with us. She's retired, but I want to tell you how I got into this technique.
Yeah.
I suffered from severe panic disorder, and I wouldn't leave the house. And my dad one Christmas gave me a Bob Ross kit, and he said, Kim,
Oh, wow.
I've signed you and me up for this Bob Ross painting class. He says, I'll go if you'll go and take the class. So I went out and took the class. That's what pulled me out of that panic. So painting, you know, when they talk about art therapy,
Yeah.
there's a lot of therapy to art.
Sure.
Sometimes I tell the doctors, I said, stop recommending art therapy to your patients. I said, you know, some can't be helped. No, everybody can be helped.
Hey, we're doing some great painting with Kim Cowger. We're going to be right back, so don't change that dial.
So we have this little Blue Ridge. Let's pop in another little guy in the foreground. Get a little touch darker. Here's this one.
See how easy that's? I mean, she just like little lines, and all of a sudden something comes out of it.
Yeah. You know, that's one thing. Everybody wants to see you paint a mountain. But when I try to teach a mountain, the people don't like to sign up for the class because they realize it can't be easy. Well, I will say in my 19 years of teaching, I have not found one student that has not learned to paint.
Wow.
And so all you need is a desire to pick up a paintbrush and you can be an artist. You want to try anything yet?
Oh, Lord, no. We don't want to wreck it.
Oh, come on. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix some color. I want to have another little foothill. It's probably early springtime. So I'm going to mix some green